What if the answer to that constant tingling in your feet wasn't inside a pill bottle, but literally right at your fingertips? Welcome back to Prime Health Lab, the channel where we break down simple natural strategies to help you feel stronger, sharper, and more alive, no matter your age. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button and join thousands of seniors who are taking their health back into their own hands. Today, we're diving into something that has quietly been practiced in Japan for over a century, a 1-minute foot massage technique that a doctor, who practiced medicine well into his hundreds, credited as one of the daily habits that kept his patients free from nerve pain, tingling, and that awful numb foot feeling that so many of us just accept as part of getting older. The first thing you need to understand is what's actually happening inside your feet when that tingling starts. Most people assume neuropathy, that burning, buzzing, or pins and needles feeling in the feet, is just nerve damage, and that once it starts, there's nothing you can do. But here's the truth that most people are never told. A large portion of the tingling that seniors experience isn't just about damaged nerves. It's about circulation, or more specifically, the lack of it. Think of your nerves like a garden hose. Water flows through it smoothly when everything is open and flexible. But if you pinch that hose, even slightly, the water slows down, pressure builds up in some spots, and almost nothing comes out the other end. That's what happens in your feet as you age. Blood flow gets restricted. Tiny capillaries, those microscopic blood vessels that feed your nerve endings, start to tighten. And when your nerves don't get enough fresh, oxygen-rich blood, they start sending distress signals to your brain. That distress signal? It's the tingling you feel every night. Here's the interesting part. The feet are one of the most nerve-dense parts of the entire human body. The soles of your feet alone contain over 200,000 nerve endings. That means they are incredibly sensitive to stimulation and incredibly responsive to gentle, targeted pressure. When you apply the right kind of touch to the right spots, you're not just massaging muscle. You're sending a direct signal through your nervous system that says, open up, relax, flow freely. This is the foundation of what Japanese wellness medicine has understood for generations. The feet are not just the bottom of your body. They are a map, a reflection of your entire nervous system. Every region of the foot connects, through nerve pathways, to different organs, systems, and areas of the body. The heel connects to your lower spine. The ball of your foot connects to your heart and lungs. The inner arch reflects your digestive system. And the tips of your toes? They connect directly to your brain and head. This isn't magic. It's anatomy. And when a doctor who spent a lifetime studying longevity said that he massaged his feet every single day, he wasn't talking about luxury. He was talking about maintenance. The same way you'd oil a door hinge to keep it from squeaking. He was keeping his nerve pathways open, his circulation flowing, and his body communicating clearly with itself. Now, what makes this even more fascinating is what happens in the brain when the feet are stimulated. Research into touch therapy and reflexology has shown that even brief, gentle foot pressure triggers the release of nitric oxide, a natural compound your body produces that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. Within moments of that release, blood rushes into areas that were previously restricted. Nerves that were firing out of frustration because they weren't getting enough blood suddenly calm down. The tingling fades, the burning softens, the numbness begins to lift. And that process, it can begin in as little as 60 seconds. So when people hear about a 1-minute foot massage stopping neuropathy tingling instantly, they sometimes roll their eyes. But now you understand the biology behind why it works. It's not a miracle. It's circulation. It's nerve communication. It's your body doing exactly what it was designed to do when you give it the right signal. Now that you understand why this works, let's talk about how to actually do it. And I want you to stay with me here, because this is where most people either get it slightly wrong and feel nothing, or get it exactly right and feel that relief wash over them within the first 30 seconds. The difference isn't strength or skill. It's simply knowing where to press, in what order, and how to breathe while you do it. The first thing you want to do is find a comfortable seated position. A firm chair works best, something that lets you easily cross one foot over the opposite knee. You don't need a massage table. You don't need oils or tools, just your hands, your feet, and 60 seconds of focused attention. Start with whichever foot tingles more. That's your body telling you where it needs the most help first. Now, before you press a single point, do this one thing that most people skip entirely, and it makes all the difference. Take one slow, deep breath in through your nose for 4 counts and release it through your mouth for 6 counts. Do that just once. What you're doing is activating your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body responsible for rest, repair, and circulation. When you're tense or rushed, your blood vessels stay constricted. That one breath is the key that unlocks the door before you even begin. Now you're ready. The first pressure point is at the very center of your heel. Use your thumb and press firmly, not painfully, but with intention, in a slow circular motion. Small circles about the size of a coin. Do this for 10 seconds. This area connects to your lower spine and sciatic nerve pathway. For many seniors, the tingling in their feet actually originates from compression higher up, in the lower back. And stimulating this point sends a relaxation signal up through that entire chain. You may feel a subtle warmth begin to spread. That's the nitric oxide response beginning. That's circulation waking up. After 10 seconds on the heel, move your thumb to the inner arch, the soft, curved area along the inside edge of your foot. This is one of the most powerful spots on the entire foot. Press in and hold for a slow count of 5, then release, then press again. Do this pulsing motion. Press, hold, release. 5 times over about 10 seconds. Don't slide your thumb. Just press straight in, hold, and let go. This area sits directly over a cluster of reflexology points connected to the kidneys and adrenal glands. 2 systems that play a surprisingly large role in nerve health and inflammation. When these systems are sluggish, inflammation builds in the extremities and tingling gets worse. Waking them up gently through this point helps reduce that internal pressure. Now move to the ball of your foot, that padded, rounded area just below your toes. Place all 4 fingers on top of your foot for support, and use both thumbs to press into the center of the ball from underneath. Apply firm, steady pressure and make slow outward strokes, like you're gently smoothing out the skin toward the outer edge of the foot. Do 5 slow strokes, taking about 10 seconds total. This area directly stimulates circulation to the upper body and chest, and more importantly, it activates the peroneal nerve, one of the key nerves running down through the leg and into the top of the foot. When this nerve is compressed or underactivated, it contributes heavily to that buzzing, electric sensation many seniors feel along the top of their feet and between their toes. Here's something worth pausing on. Many people press too hard when they do this, thinking more pressure means more benefit. But the nerve endings in your feet are incredibly sensitive. Aggressive pressure actually causes the muscles around those nerves to tighten in defense, the opposite of what you want. Think of it like trying to calm a nervous animal. Gentle, steady, consistent contact communicates safety. That's what opens everything up. Now move to the base of your toes, specifically the soft webbing between each toe. Use your index finger and thumb to gently pinch and hold the web between your big toe and second toe for 5 seconds. Then release and move to the next space. Work your way across all 4 webbing spaces in about 15 seconds. This may feel surprisingly tender, especially between the 3rd and 4th toes. That tenderness is actually a sign that this area needs attention. These webbing points connect directly to the lymphatic drainage pathways of the foot, and when lymph flow is sluggish, fluid accumulates around nerve tissue, increasing the pressure that causes tingling. Gently stimulating these points helps drain that fluid and decompress those nerve endings. And finally, the toes themselves. Starting with your big toe, use your thumb and index finger to gently roll each toe from base to tip, as if you're very slowly unscrewing a small bolt. One full slow roll per toe, spending about 2 seconds on each. By the time you reach your little toe, you've completed your 60 seconds, and you've touched every major nerve reflex zone on the foot. Now take that same deep breath you started with, in for 4 counts, out for 6. And notice what you feel. For many people, the tingling has already softened. Some feel a warmth that wasn't there before. Others notice that the heaviness in their leg feels slightly lighter. That's not imagination. That's blood moving into places it hasn't been flowing freely, possibly in hours, possibly longer. Do the same sequence on the other foot. Then sit quietly for just 1 more minute before standing up. The doctor who practiced this daily didn't do it because it felt luxurious. He did it because he understood something simple and profound, that the body wants to heal. It is always trying to heal. Sometimes it just needs a small, deliberate nudge in the right direction. And 60 seconds, done consistently, is enough to give it that nudge. Now let's talk about something that separates the people who try this once and feel a little better, from the people who do this consistently and start to feel genuinely transformed. Because here's the truth. 1 session of this foot massage will give you relief. You'll feel the tingling soften, the circulation improve, the tension ease. But 1 session doesn't rewire anything. 1 session is like watering a dry plant once. It perks up, but if you don't come back tomorrow, it starts to wilt again. What you're really after is a cumulative effect, and that cumulative effect is where the real magic happens. When you stimulate these pressure points daily, even for just 60 seconds, you're doing something far more powerful than temporary relief. You're training your blood vessels to stay more open. You're reducing the baseline level of inflammation around your nerve tissue. You're gradually improving the conductivity of your nerve pathways so they stop firing those false distress signals as often. Over days and weeks, many people find that the tingling becomes less frequent, less intense, and for some, it fades almost entirely during the day, appearing only occasionally instead of constantly. The doctor whose practice inspired this technique reportedly did it every morning before getting out of bed and every evening before falling asleep. 2 60-second sessions per day. That's 2 minutes total. And he maintained that this simple ritual, practiced across decades, was one of the key reasons his patients in their 70s and 80s reported better feeling in their feet than many people in their 50s. So the first habit principle is this: attach it to something you already do. Don't try to create a brand new slot in your day. Instead, stack it onto an existing routine. Do it while you're sitting on the edge of your bed in the morning before you stand up. Do it while you're watching the evening news. Do it while you're waiting for your tea to cool. The moment it becomes attached to something familiar, it stops being a task and starts being automatic. And automatic is what creates lasting change. Now here's something that will dramatically amplify your results, and almost nobody talks about this part. What you drink before and after this massage matters more than most people realize. Your body needs water to move things. Circulation is essentially the movement of fluid through channels. When you're even mildly dehydrated, which most seniors are for most of the day, because the thirst signal weakens with age, your blood becomes slightly thicker, your lymphatic fluid moves more slowly, and the benefit of the massage is cut in half before it even begins. Before you do your foot massage, drink a small glass of warm water. Not cold, warm. Warm water has been shown to improve microcirculation almost immediately because it gently dilates the small blood vessels near the skin's surface. Think of it like warming up an engine before you drive. You're preparing the system to respond. Then drink another small glass after you finish. This helps flush out the metabolic waste products that the massage has just loosened from around your nerve tissue, and it keeps the circulation moving long after your hands have left your feet. This combination, warm water, massage, warm water, is so simple it almost sounds too easy. But simplicity is exactly the point. The doctor at the center of this tradition was not interested in complicated protocols. He was interested in things people would actually do every day for the rest of their lives. Because a perfect protocol practiced once is worth far less than a simple habit practiced daily for 30 years. The second thing that amplifies your results is something you're already doing, or should be, and that's walking. Not power walking, not exercise walking, just gentle, unhurried walking for 10 to 15 minutes after your morning massage. Here's why this matters so much. The massage opens the door. Walking keeps it open. When you walk, the natural compression and release of your foot against the ground continues stimulating those same pressure points you just worked with your hands. Your calf muscles, which act as a second heart for your lower body, begin pumping blood back up from your feet toward your core. The circulation you ignited with 60 seconds of massage gets sustained and deepened by those 15 minutes of gentle movement. If walking is difficult because of the tingling or pain, start with just 5 minutes. Even 2 minutes of slow walking after a foot massage is significantly better than staying seated. The goal is not distance. The goal is movement, any movement, that keeps the blood from pooling back into the feet and recreating the pressure that causes the tingling. Now, let's talk about the mistakes, because there are 3 common ones that quietly sabotage people's results, and once you know them, they're easy to avoid. The first mistake is doing the massage while cold. Cold feet mean constricted blood vessels before you even start. If your feet are cold to the touch, spend 2 minutes with a warm, damp towel wrapped around them first, or simply wear thick socks for 10 minutes before you begin. You're just pre-warming the tissue so it's receptive. Cold tissue resists pressure, warm tissue responds to it. The second mistake is holding your breath. This sounds almost too simple to mention, but when people focus intensely on what their hands are doing, they unconsciously tighten their chest and hold their breath. And when you hold your breath, your nervous system interprets it as a stress signal and tightens everything, including your blood vessels. Keep breathing slowly and steadily throughout the entire 60 seconds. If it helps, breathe in rhythm with your movements. Press in on the inhale, release on the exhale. That synchronization actually deepens the relaxation response significantly. The third mistake is inconsistency. People feel dramatic relief on day 1 and think they're fixed, so they stop. Then the tingling comes back a few days later and they feel discouraged, like it didn't really work. But that's not what happened. What happened is that the body returned to its default state because the new signal, the massage, was removed. Think of it like taking off reading glasses. Your vision was fine with them on. That doesn't mean you no longer need them. Consistency is what gradually shifts your body's default state from one of restriction and distress signals to one of open circulation and calm nerve activity. Give it 30 days of daily practice before you judge whether it's working. And one final thing, something the old doctor apparently told every patient who came to him with nerve complaints in their feet. He said, "Never be angry at your feet." Many people with neuropathy develop a quiet frustration or even resentment toward the parts of their body that are causing them pain. They avoid touching their feet, avoid thinking about them, avoid acknowledging them unless the tingling forces them to. But that avoidance is itself a form of neglect, and neglected systems deteriorate faster. The massage is not just physical stimulation, It's attention. It's communication. It's your body receiving a signal that says, I haven't forgotten you. I'm still here. Let's work together. That shift in relationship from frustration to gentle daily care may sound soft or philosophical, but it has a very real physiological basis. Touch reduces cortisol. Reduced cortisol lowers inflammation. Lower inflammation means less pressure on nerve tissue, and less pressure on nerve tissue means less tingling. The emotional and the physical are not separate systems. They are the same system, responding to the same signals. So touch your feet with kindness. Do it every day. Give it 30 days. And pay attention to what changes, not just in the tingling, but in how you move through your morning, how you sleep at night, and how grounded you feel in your body throughout the day. Tonight, before you get into bed, try the full 60-second sequence on both feet. Don't judge it, don't analyze it, just do it once with full attention. Drink a warm glass of water before and after. And then notice, really notice, how your feet feel when your head hits the pillow. That one small act of care tonight could be the beginning of something you'll still be doing 5 years from now. And 5 years from now, your feet will thank you for starting today. If this video helped you understand something about your body that nobody ever explained before, share it with someone you love who's been struggling with tingling or nerve pain. You might just give them back something they thought was gone for good. And if you want more simple, science-backed strategies for living stronger, sharper, and more comfortably as you age, subscribe to Prime Health Lab. We're here every week, breaking down what actually works, in plain language, with no fluff and no fear. Take care of yourself. You've earned it.